after a few weeks, boys, a tough few weeks, some might say, for a certain side of Glasgow, we are back. Come on! How are we? Jack, it's nice to see you back after a long time. I just want to ask you, first of all, you've been away doing your coaching. Are the rumours true?
What's that?
Have you been taking Shane Duffy up the Ash pitches to practice his first touch?
Aye, mate. His first touch, his head and everything, mate. Shutting him up a wee bit.
Talk to me, how are you? We've not seen you in a while.
Aye, no bad, mate. I seen the views going like that, so obviously need to step in and help us back out again.
If you don't know, Jack left to focus more on his coaching, but now that his coaching's went tits up, he's asked to come back on.
I'm back!
Once you seen the views of the old firm, he's like, I didn't bother, man, I'm back.
I know. What about that?
Oh, mate. See, for the viewers watching, see if you just look there. That's Conor McGregor. Nate Diaz. Did you watch the fight last night?
Sure did. Bitterly disappointed, to be honest with you, mate.
Mate.
Yeah, it was fucking heartbreaking, man. Do you know what it was like? It was just like watching your dad get fucking battered.
Mate, it was an absolute sin.
It was, wasn't it?
Aye.
The first round they were kind of exchanging, and I thought, he's kind of got me some decent ones here. Second round came out, man, he just absolutely folded like a deck of cards, man.
Mate,
the thing is,
what you going to say?
The thing is, mate, he's obviously been landed with the leg kicks, mate. He
couldn't walk, man.
That's brutal, isn't it?
Aye. I've heard some rumours about his next fight. What are they, man? Apparently it's him versus Bilal Mosny.
Rubbish,
mate.
Winner
fight Shane Duffy.
What? Aye, winner fight Shane. Mate, I tell you what, see, Bilal Mosny would have knocked out McGregor last night, wouldn't he?
Oh, definitely, mate.
Easy.
Left, right, good night.
No, I see, to be honest, but man, that was sad, wasn't it? It was actually a wee bit sad.
Mate, I
was expecting so much more.
I know. Felt sick.
I don't know how you can. Oh, sorry, Jack. When you go.
I used to.
Mate. After you. Some things never change, mate.
I need to put you in your place, mate.
I know. Fair enough, mate.
You left us for once.
Oh, come on. That's it. No, but honestly, McGregor's going to bounce back, mate. But he's only fought like fucking 20 seconds, mate, in like the last 3 years.
I hope he bounces back.
Is there a point in watching him?
With these things, it can kind of blow over, can't it? Like he's fourth now. He's just been beat again.
He's not fighting for a title anytime soon, is he?
No, absolutely.
To be fair,
not,
he said in his presser that he doesn't care about like a record or anything. He's just doing the thing he loves. But to be fair, doesn't he fight for fuck all?
You're not really sitting and fight, but if you're getting punched about, are you?
Maybe he enjoys it.
Oh well. We move on to football.
I'll just stay at the UFC.
Jesus Christ, man! Right, I'm ready to start asking you two questions individually because you're genuinely fucking talking over each other every fucking 2 seconds.
So hard.
His Wi-Fi slow.
Oh, there we go again. Right, Jack. Ever since you've last been on, Celtic season has just went worse and worse. Like, I've not heard from you. So, what's been happening? What you been on?
Well, to be fair, mate, I think like the Dubai trip didn't help anything. I don't think that. Yeah, it was maybe important to them to go because last season it really worked well for them. But I don't think it was urgent to go. I don't think that we're 19 points behind at that point. I don't think that it was really worthwhile going. And it's just been a disastrous season, to be honest with you, mate. It's going, just as you say, it's just going like that.
You couldn't actually wrote it any worse, did you? Like for your most historic season, like it couldn't have went any worse so far.
I don't think it's tipped it away. Oh fuck.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I don't think it's tipped it away. Fuck up, Jack. Fucking let me talk. Mate, this is a disaster. See his Wi-Fi, man, it's fucking shocking.
Jeez Louise, mate.
Jack, put your hand up when you want to talk, right?
Put your hand up.
I'll rub there.
No, alright, but let me speak for a minute, right? But,
ask the question again, Scott, so you can just crop it out.
Crop.
Crop it out. Fucking
edit it out.
Tarantino, man. What was the question then? Oh, aye. Evan, what do you think about the season?
Well, I'll tell you about what I think about Dubai, right?
Right.
I don't care if they all went in the fitness camp of their fucking lives. If you come back and there's 13 players out, it's not a good trip. The thing that baffles me the most is the fact that you go from getting beat in an Old Firm, right, which is probably the most crucial game of Celtic's season because it's a must-win, and they lost, so they get fucking treated with a trip to Dubai. See if that's me, my players lose that game, I'm going, fuck this, she's only getting treated, you're going back to fucking Lennox Town to run about.
I just don't know why anybody's scheduling a trip for 20 odd boys to go to Dubai. I mean, one of them were obviously going to catch it. Was that no obvious? You take 20 people away during a pandemic, at least one of them are going to catch something. You know what I mean? Jack, you scratching there, you want to speak?
Aye, is that alright?
He's putting his hand up.
Is that okay, mate? Is it okay if I speak? Aye, mate, I think, like, obviously, just as Evan says, mate, if you come back and 13 guys are out your first team, it's really hard, especially with being 19 points behind or now even more. Is that me? Or was it aye?
Aye.
So it's no great. It's definitely no ideal. Know what you're wanting, especially when there's games in hand there that you need to go and win. Do you know what I mean? The one on Wednesday night, I'm sure we'll get to it. Just sums it up really. Celtic should be going there and winning their games. The
thing that most Celtic fans were raising about is, like, they went away to Dubai when they had 3 games in hand. Like, see after that Old Firm, obviously a lot of Celtic fans came away for that actually, you know, quite positive. Well, not positive, you know what I mean? Like, they thought they, you know, were a better team.
Yep.
And they maybe could have kept that pressure going, kept that momentum going by maybe going and getting a game in hand during the week, you know, out the road. And then Rangers the next weekend had Aberdeen, so it would have put a bit more pressure on Rangers going away to Pittodrie. But to go away in a season like this when you have 3 games, it genuinely makes no sense. And Evan, you've not spoken to
baffles me the most. Aye.
You know.
Well, if I can do I interrupt them, they get shouted at. No, but the thing that annoys me the most, right, is obviously this full season for Celtic fans is like ifs, buts and maybes, right? Because if that happened, then this might have happened, right? The thing that pisses me off the most is the fact that we played 3 games and dropped 6 points. Like, how different does the table look if you put these 6 points in it? You're down to 17 points if you win the winnable games. Because let's be honest, right? We started the first one and we played a second skin team, right? Which, to be fair, was good enough to beat Hibs. But I'll say it right now because it'll touch on to the semi-final anyway, right? Hibs are fucking rotten against important games. I said it at the very first podcast, right? Hibs can't win a big game or beat a big team.
Aye, nice deflection there.
No,
right, but right under pressure, and you start going for Hibs.
He's done well.
No, because
he's done really well.
To be fair to Livingston, right? Livingston are on a good run of form, but at Celtic Park, you should be beating them. And then you fucking you go to fucking the spaghetti had, man, and fucking Scott Brown punches somebody off the ball.
Oh, what was that all about, by the way? Genuinely, fuck me. What's he even doing in the park for a starter? Never mind coming on and deciding to go for somebody.
Wee bit of head loss, wasn't it?
Hey, he's wet. Right, here's a question for you, Jack, right? And Evan, you can answer it second. Would you give Scott Brown a new contract if his contract's up at the end of the season?
No, I think to be honest, Scott Brown's time's kind of Celtic's come to an end. You know, I think everybody can kind of see that he's slowing down a wee bit. He's not having that impact that he once had on games. But what?
Just a wee bit. He's slowing down. Fuck me.
He's slowing right down, Evan. Sorry, mate. Sorry. Am I alright to finish?
Aye.
So no, I don't think he's having that impact that he once had. So I think for Celtic fans, I think everybody would kind of agree now that Scott Brown's time's kind of come to an end at Celtic, you know.
Would you think, Evan?
Like, I would offer him a contract, but it's strictly coaching. That's it. Like, I wouldn't give him a player contract, like, because everyone says he's a big influence, like, behind the scenes, right? Which is completely understandable. Long time serving captain and all that, right? But from your captain, you're wanting to come on and change the game. No, come on after fucking a couple of minutes and crack a young boy when you're chasing a game. Do you know what I mean? A must-win game. Everyone keeps saying about how Neil Lennon has to win every single game, and we fucking no 1-1.
Tell you what, Scott Brown's an absolute disgrace. He's lucky that wasn't me in the park.
You would have knocked him out with your breath, mate.
Definitely. But see, I'm in a pure weird position as a Rangers fan. I don't know if it's just me, but like see if you win every game up to the end of the season, which, do you know what I mean? There's more chance of Hibs winning an important game than that. But if you win every game up to the end of the season, even then, we're still 9 games away. We've got 9 games until we can win the league. If you win every game, we've got 9 cup finals now.
Yeah, I think that for Rangers now, I think it's like just one game at a time, really. This Steven Gerrard's kind of coming out and saying now, but they will be looking towards that finish line. You know, for Rangers to win 9 games, do you know what I mean? It's definitely in the horizon. It's coming, you know. So I think that they will get there. They will get there comfortably.
Do you want me to anger some people?
You know.
I'll use your analogy against you, right? Because see if Rangers have got 9 cup finals to win, so if you're going to win the league, you just can't win a cup final to save your life.
See, that would be a fair point, right? But we could literally lose our next fucking 7 games and I still think we win the league. Because you honestly fucking drop me a points than anybody I've ever seen. No, but what I was going to say is a good point for you, right? So we've got 9 games, right, until we need to fire through, right? Everyone said that January for Rangers was massive. Do you know what I mean? We had a game against Celtic, which was kind of, you know what I mean? Whether it's the back end of the year or what, I can't even mind the date. But the Celtic game, we had an Aberdeen game, and then we've had Hibs. And after we play Hibs, that's us. We don't need to go back the rest of it. We've been to Pittodrie twice, and we've been to Easter. This will be our second time going to Easter Road. So we've got a lot of like the tough games. We still need to go to Parkhead, but you know what I mean, that's like going to fucking St Mirren Stadium now or something. You know what I mean, well, we lost it, I know, but never mind that. But yeah, I mean, like what I'm trying to say is this was a hard month, and we're still undefeated. You know what? I'm starting to think we might go invincible.
You can't quite do what Celtic done invincible, but you need to go back in time and beat St Mirren.
Did you win every competition that year or no?
Aye, invincible treble.
I will. Nobody cares about that. You know what I mean?
Anybody win that anyway?
In the papers today, we'll start with Evan first this time, right? In the papers today, Rafael Benitez is linked with a move to Celtic. Now, it's not going to happen, but I just want to hear your thoughts on it.
I don't think it'll happen, right? But see at any manager at this point, right? I don't see what the board would be getting from it, like keeping Lennon at the end of the season. Give a managers because right now, right, it's in tatters, now, right? So you need to get a manager in to look in, assess his damage, and see what do a bit of damage control. He can come in. He's not expecting much. Like if he comes in and gets beat fucking a couple of games or whatever, and starts implementing his style, it's a season that's gone. Do you know what I mean? I think you can speak to any Celtic fan, and unless they're completely delusional, they'll say that they can win the league, because we can't win the league. So you need to get somebody in, damage control, see what they need to do, shift the players that don't want to be there, that Lennon said at the start of the season, and then go next season and try and win the league again.
What when you say shift the players out, do you mean in January?
No, in January. I mean, you can obviously start getting their agents to look at other clubs and push them out for the summer, and then you can start getting in your own targets, getting in your own players, like Rodgers done basically.
So you don't think Rafael Benitez will do a job?
I don't know. I think he's wanting a bit more like high profile league, isn't he?
What do you think, Jack?
No, I don't think he will get a Celtic job, just because he's obviously his pedigree. I think that he's I don't think he'll come to Celtic just for that reason. I think that he's over in China now. Is that right?
He just left.
No, I get
just left. Well,
contract
I think he'll
terminated.
be maybe eyeing himself up in a bigger job than Celtic. To be honest, now I think that I've heard Eddie Howe getting kind of plastered about now. I'm not sure about that either. How do you feel about that, Evan? Eddie Howe? Do you like that?
Listen, at this point, I would fucking take it. I just don't like. I don't care what MD says about the heart of the players. Right? There's no way, because like everybody in that Celtic team has won a treble. Like obviously apart from the new signings this year, but they've all won a treble, and they're all like they know what it means to win. Fucking stumbling over words here, and then they've come in this season and they're playing like utter dog shite.
Aye.
There's no other words for it but dog shite.
Has Barca saved something yet? No, still no.
Absolutely not.
No. What a fucking waste of space.
I've got a wee goalie academy on a Sunday. He's going to start coming to.
Oh, you got to take Barca up?
11 and 12-year-olds. They'll sort him out. Don't worry, next season he'll be back.
So you don't have Shane Duffy on one side practicing his first touch. You don't have Gordon Strachan at the side learning the laptop shit, and then Barca's up the other end in the goals.
Aye, mate. We're back next season. Don't worry about it.
Right, mate, you may be giving me a shot at getting the fucking manager's job.
I know, me being Gavin Strachan, laptop man.
See if you could get the Celtic job.
5'6" to get the Celtic job.
Oh.
That was harsh, mate. That was harsh.
Oh.
my first week back, mate. Give me a break.
Yeah, see if you got hired by Celtic now. What's the first thing you'd do?
I think just what Evan said. I think it's kind of first on the sheet is to get all the deadwood out of Celtic now. I think guys like Shane Duffy and Scott Brown, people like that, they kind of need to get out now. You need to get other players in. You need to get good quality in. That can go and start again pushing on and winning leagues, because now you look at that Celtic team, if that's to be the team for years to come, you can only see it going one way. So I think that's kind of the main objective now, because the league, let's be honest, the league's done, the league's finished. But it's really about kind of getting the players out now and getting good quality in to kind of try and kick on again.
I've got a good question here, right? You can get a new manager in, but you'll lose the remaining 2 Old Firm games of the season. But you get a new manager in now, or you keep learning to the end of the season, but you win the next 2 Old Firm games. What would you do?
Obviously, you're going to take Lennon because if you're guaranteeing me the 2 games, right, and then if you're guaranteeing me that, and that's this scenario, right, then it's down to about 17 points straight away, and then with 2 games in hand, so it's down to 11 points. That's just obviously you're going to take a chance at trying to win the league if you're guaranteeing they'll win both of the Old Firm games, which I don't think will happen. But
I was just interested to see whether it was.
I'd probably go the opposite, Scott.
Would you
go the opposite.
Yeah, this is what I wanted the answer to be. On you go.
Because I totally think the league's finished. I think that, okay, we might win the next 2 Old Firms, but at the end of the day, the league's finished. I think that the main thing now is to get a manager in place that is for years to come, to really set that club back up. And I think if you continue with Lennon to the end of the season, I think you're going back the way. I think that it's about getting a new manager in, getting his new kind of ideas in place for next season, because it's coming thick and fast,
I think Celtic.
I completely agree with that.
Sorry,
Scott, but I completely I get what you're saying. But see, if you guarantee like win the next 2 Old Firms, you've got to take that. Because see, there's only one thing that's not went wrong this season yet that could go wrong, and it's getting whitewashed by Rangers. I think that would top off the worst ever season for Celtic.
Yep.
Not a problem, man. Not a problem. I think I was doing money. Mate, honestly, not even just think about how shite we played in the Old Firm, right? We didn't even have a shot on target, and we still took the 3 points.
But Rangers are in that mind space, that mentality now that they don't need to play well. They all know what they have to do. They all know their jobs. They're in that frame of mind that they're going to just go and win. They've had a slip up at St Mirren, yes, but really they've went the full season kind of unbeaten. And you look at it and you say, even it doesn't matter if a player goes out of the team and another one comes in, they're all singing off the same hymn sheet. They're all ready to go and they know their jobs, you know. And I think that's a credit to Gerrard as well. I think that he's kind of took stick his first year about being with Rangers and choosing different teams and stuff like that. But you look at this season, they're a real force, Rangers. As much as that pains me to say, they're a real force. And I just think that for Celtic now, I think that you need to kind of change that. You need to change that manager now and get kind of a new one in place with his new ideas to get back in.
I've got a question for you both.
Go
on in.
Well, I'll start with Scott so that we don't get... No, wait, actually, fuck that. I'll start with Jack because it's a Celtic's opinion and then we'll go to a Rangers' opinion.
All right.
Right. So, see if we get a new manager in at this point, right?
Yep.
See if that new manager comes in and wins the Scottish Cup. Like,
Yes.
Do you think it will take a lot of the hut away, at least if we get a trophy on the board?
I think that to a degree, yes, but the main thing this season was always 10 in a row. I think if you asked every Celtic fan globally if they would rather take the 10 and dismiss the other 2 cups, they'd say absolutely. So I think...
No, obviously you're going to win the league. I'm not opinion that, but I'm just saying that this position we're in now, basically out of the league, would you be happy to win a Scottish Cup in this scenario?
Well, obviously you would be, but I don't think it takes away for the kind of pain and how bad this season's really been. It's really, really been shocking. But absolutely, if there's a Scottish Cup there to be won, yes, absolutely.
What about you, Scott? What do you think if Celtic win the Scottish Cup? Like, obviously, you win the league, so I don't think you will give much of a fuck. But even if Celtic can play shite, and even if Celtic can have the worst season ever and still win a trophy, like it's still like
what's even happening with the Scottish Cup? When the fuck? Wait, I've not even. Has there even been the first round yet?
No, it's usually after Christmas anyway, but isn't it?
Is it?
I think there's been around. I think there has been around.
Who Celtic and Rangers don't come into like the later rounds, but do they not? It's like third or fourth.
We're not drawn against a team yet, are we? I'll check my phone.
What's that?
Wait, I'm sure we were. I don't have it off the top of my head, but I'm sure we got the draws. Rangers are playing Cove Rangers, I think. I only remember.
Oh, fuck, aye, you're right, actually. We'll see who fucking Celtic have got. Maybe I'll finding this, to be honest with you. No, wait. Nah, fuck no, it's pointless. Anyway, mate, see, to be honest, I want the lead. That's all I fucking care about, right? More than anything, right? But at the same time, I want you to win absolutely sweet fuck all, right? So I hope that we get you in the cup. And I just got a wee fucking pop up with Zoom. I just flipped him. No, patch that. Wonder if that came up. I honestly just want you to have so much heartache that it would be so fucking good if we just won the Scottish Cup, won the league, invincible. But what I was going to say is the point we were talking about before, Jack, right?
Yeah.
You were saying about how, Steven Gerrard's built this team. Honestly, what a fucking job he's done. And I know a lot of people don't like giving him his fucking credit, right? But see the team that Steven Gerrard's come into, and honestly, it actually doesn't feel real to me. It doesn't feel, everything feels as if it's gone too well, which depends on you look at it, might scare you a bit. Like, our team is fucking ridiculous. It is unbelievable. And see Steven Gerrard, he could quite clearly at the end of this season, I couldn't even blame him if he decided that he wanted a shot in England, because he's deserved it.
Can I actually see every time this gets spoke about, right? And we go, obviously, but we still won 9 in a row and all that. And as the normal reaction for a Rangers fan is, we were only here for fucking 6 of them or 5 or whatever it was. And then it was, but look at the teams you were playing against, like when we actually got back to the league. Because since you came back to the league, we won everything, right? But see every single season at the start of it, I think if you asked all Rangers fans, they'd have said that they could win the league. And completely meant it, not just saying, what we're going to say, we're not going to win the league.
I you could say we would have been confident in ourselves to win the league, but no fucking 23 points clear, no being beaten in fucking all season.
I think that's I think that's the key, to be honest with you, mate. I think like at the start of the season, you probably would have said Rangers get a good chance, but that was probably because the season before that Rangers were leading it right up to Christmas. Like, obviously, you know, the Dubai trip, Celtic came back for it and kicked right on, but Rangers up to that point were still strong, really strong. So at the start of the season, it probably wouldn't have surprised anyone if obviously Rangers are really ahead now, but it wouldn't have surprised you back then if somebody turned around and said, no, Rangers are going to win the league.
I'm buzzing. I'm so happy.
The thing that absolutely
had it in a while.
Oh, mate.
Like, the thing that baffles me the most, but is like, I don't care what anyone says or who's the next manager that's coming in or that, right? That's irrelevant right now. How the fuck has he still got a job?
Neil Lennon.
Right, see even if you're the fucking, I don't know, like St Johnstone manager, see if you win 7 games out of 22 games, you're probably going to get sacked. So I don't understand what merits you still being in a job as a Celtic manager. I don't give a fuck what you've done in the past. If you get that record, you need to get fucking sacked.
It's a bit saddening, isn't it? Like, see when he comes out and he's doing press conferences, like he's no there now, is he? Like, he actually
All he cares about is the money, then.
He needs a break, man. He needs a break in a dark room with a toothbrush and a fucking gallon of fucking toothpaste for at least a month, and then we'll see what he's like after that.
But I don't really like. I think this is it for Neil Lennon's managerial career.
Forever.
Right, like, who's he going to get a job with?
He's still got a job, man.
But for like, you think he's going to get a League 2 side, maybe a League 1 side, like in the English league. But that's a push, and it's going to be like low levels.
It's still a job, innit? Job's a job.
But sacked at Hibs, sacked at Bolton. Do you know what I mean? It's no like even doing it like. I get it was like a shite Bolton side and all that, right? But if you get sacked at Hibs, I don't know what that gives you like to get the permanent Celtic job and all that. It was just a cheap option for the board, and now it's come back to bite us in the arse.
See the thing is, right? A lot of people it's the same names. It's always Eddie Howe. Like, what if it isn't Eddie Howe and it isn't Benitez? Who the fuck is going to be the Celtic manager? Because there isn't really that many people have said Jack Ross. Jack Ross is fucking nowhere near the Celtic job. Who if it isn't Eddie Howe, who the fuck's going to be the Celtic manager?
I'd take Roy Keane.
Would you take Roy Keane, Jack?
It's a hard one, it really is, because he's been at like Sunderland, he's been at Ipswich, hasn't he? It's a punt. It's a punt you're taking with Roy Keane. I don't think he's been amazing manager where he's been, and to take a punt now, it's a big gamble because you look at you're trying to get somebody in that's going to really put Celtic back to where they were. You need a same calibre as Brendan Rodgers, somebody like that. Benitez would maybe be in that bracket, but out with that, I don't think Roy Keane's he's going to be in that calibre. You know, I don't think he's going to get Celtic back to where they need to be. It's a gamble, and I don't think Celtic at this stage is kind of in the place to take the gamble.
I've actually got a question for you. Right? See, do you know it's going to be quite it's going to be quite fun to watch over the next like few years. Like, obviously, this is like, do you know everybody talks about like when you talk what was Celtic or Rangers like when you were a kid? If you were talking to your Waynes, your grandkids or whatever, right? Obviously, we're going to talk about like the 9 in a row and stuff like that, quadruple, treble, and then but see over the next like maybe 10 years, it's going to be the race to see like if Rangers can keep the most league titles. Nice. You'll be on what 55, and I think Celtic are on 51. There's only 4 in it.
It's your turn for 10 in a row.
But the thing is, I know you're laughing there, Scott, right? But you look at it now, if Celtic don't nail a good manager down, they now and really, really like work on getting a good side back, it could be years before Celtic are back winning leagues.
Which
Seriously.
it's mental to say that, because how far ahead you were.
It's crazy, and that's how fast football changes, you know. It can change like that, as we all know, but you look at, if Celtic don't really, really get this appointment right, I think that it could be trouble.
Think so?
Because they now, with Steven Gerrard at Rangers and the team Rangers have got, you can't see past them now.
It's a fair point. It's a big. This is a massive turning point for Celtic. They've went through this phase of 10 in a row, which they've no got, and now all these players are going to be leaving in the summer, and there's a new manager coming in. This is like a really big summer for Celtic coming up. Do you know what I mean?
This is like, obviously we signed a goalkeeper for £5 million, right? Who, by the way, has been fucking rotten, right? But obviously, right, Marshall was going for a free, right? Which I would have took over Barkas. I know it's easy to say, like, at the time Celtic fans would have been raging, not spending money on a big goalkeeper. But no, it's obviously the other way about, spending £5 million on a shite goalkeeper. But see if you spend a couple of mil, or like give like Benitez like a 2-year contract and give him like a couple of mil signing on bonus and treat it as what it is a big transfer. He could set us up for the next few years.
Absolutely.
Especially with Champions League football being like, see with that like straight into the qualification, it's like a big incentive to win the league to go straight into the Champions League.
Absolutely. You look at it and you say, okay, you buy a goalkeeper for £5 million. Why would you not put that money to a manager that's going to be with you for years, that's going to really, really set you up in good stead? Just what you're saying, I think this is the biggest thing for Celtic now, to really nail this down.
I think, obviously, we're talking about Celtic having to have a big summer to get this gap closed on Rangers, which is even mental to say. But see another thing that a lot of people only talking about. See if Rangers get Champions League football in the summer and Celtic don't. See the type of players we'll be able to attract to play Champions League football, and the money. That could be massive. That could be absolutely massive. I don't think people are realising that. Do you know how many players in England? See how your bottom half of the Premier League, Champions League football at Rangers then becomes a thing where you would maybe rather play for Rangers than play in the bottom 10. Do you know what I mean? The Champions League is massive.
See the other thing, right, is see if a manager comes in, right, to Celtic and goes through the summer. Like, think of the players. Like, I'll give you 2 players, right, just off the bat, right, which I can see going in the summer anyway, right. Say you sell Ayer, right, you'd probably get off AC Milan or something if they wanted to sign him. You could get like 20 million for him because that's how much the market and all that is. And then say you got like 20 to 25 for Edward. Even if the board took like 15 for themselves and gave a new manager 30 million to spend.
I don't think you'd get 25 for Edward now.
You would. England, they did. Like, I'm not being funny. Celtic aren't going to sell him for anything less. It's like, regardless of how shite a season Morelos has, you would rather keep him than sell him for next to nothing.
Nah, you'd get 20 for Edward, and if Celtic got offered 20 million for Edward, they'd accept in the summer. He's got a year left in his contract. Nobody's going to pay 25 million for Edward with a year left in his contract.
Like, I get that, right? But see, when you look at like Newcastle and like Aston Villa, once did Newcastle spend that Joe Linton, like 40 mil?
Aye.
Edward's a much better player than he is.
But these English teams know when they come to Rangers and Celtic and offer them 20 million that Peter Lawwell's going to be sitting there with a massive hard on. Do you know what I mean? Yes, he's going to take that. He's going to be like, this guy's got a year left in his contract and they're offering me 20 million. He doesn't want to be here. He wants to fuck off. I've got a manager I want to bring in for a good 2 million. He's going to take 20 million from him.
Do you know what? It fucking baffles me, right? Because when you look at it, like Stuart Armstrong, starter for Southampton, pretty much most weeks, playing well. Do you know what I mean? And then even like Van Dijk, probably the best centre back in the world right now. And then you've got another one. Even if you look at Kieran Tierney for 25 million, even looking at it right now, it looks like a fucking bargain. Like every single game Tierney plays, Arsenal fans are absolutely raving about him, saying he's captain material and all that. Right? To me, how much like you say Tierney's worth right now to other English clubs if they wanted to sign him?
A good 40.
That's what I mean. And then like Moussa Dembele, 500k has turned him into a player that's playing for Atletico Madrid now.
See the thing is, see when you look at Celtic right now, like, does it worry you that they sell Kieran Tierney and the backup, the replacement was Bolingoli and Greg Taylor?
Mm-hmm.
Like, who
at the same time, but like, see, like everybody was screaming, "Oh, sign Greg Taylor. We can't let him go. Like we let McGinn go." But obviously he's shite, and that's how it. But every transfer is a gamble. But that's what Celtic fans wanted. Because look at Turnbull. Turnbull's everything Christie wants to be.
Who do you think going to leave in the summer, Jack?
I think you've got a big problem at Celtic, because I think a lot of players, foreign players, that were probably staying 14 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
So now that that's kind of looking as if it's gone, all these players I think will go. Your Ayers, your Edwards, just you're saying, you've got Laxalt on loan. I don't know if he'll stay. Your Shane Duffy will hopefully go.
Hopefully not.
And then you've got boys like Callum McGregor and Mikey Johnson, people like that, Griffiths, that might stay. But you've got a half a squad there that might move on. So who do you bring in to replace that? It's a big call.
The thing is,
can I give you one? Sorry, I'll give you I'll start with Scott, and I'll give, because it's a bit more, because it's like the other side, if you will, right? Obviously, we went through Ayer and Edward there, right? But say another two players go, right, which is highly like that will happen. Let's say it's in Cham and Christie. What do you think Celtic would get for them two?
In Cham, what knows, about 6 mil, 7 mil.
See, the thing is, right, you say that, but I think we could get 10 off like a Porto or something.
If some can't pay 10 million for an Cham, man, they fucking must be their tits.
But honestly, right, we'll call it 8, right? Just to kind of, we'll meet in the middle here, right? What about Christie?
Who's not the best this season, had he? Probably about 10, 12.
What about you, Jack? What do you think you can get for Christie?
I think you would get 10. I think you would get 10 for Christie. I think Wayne Cham, I don't think, and Cham's been non-existent this season, let's be honest. He's been absolutely non-existent.
It has, but he's been non-existent the past 2 years, and teams like Porto will still put in a reasonable bid, regardless if he's been playing or not.
I'm not so sure they would now.
It's hard to tell, but because he's French and he's a solid player in under 20, the French under 21s or 23s, I think it is. I'm not sure, but that's still enough to make a club pay a wee bit of money. And if you look at so say it's 10 for Christie, 10 for Ncham, and then 20 for Ayer and 20 for Edward, that's 60 million. The board, even if the board take half of that and a new manager's got 30 million to spend, you could easily build a strong enough team with 30 million.
Think so?
Aye. To compete in Scotland and potentially win the league.
Oh, man.
Well, who's Rangers' most expensive player?
Ryan Kent.
But who was it, 6 million? 7 million?
7 mil, I think.
So,
that was a process over years of planning. We went for Timur Roof last year when he went to Anderlecht. Celtic might not have a plan in place. It's easy to say 30 million, but it's not as if how many players will Celtic buy with 30 million worth?
That's the thing that's worried me the most about this whole thing, right? It's obviously Lennon's been a bit of a disaster, right? But the whole thing with Celtic is youth players. When you look at the youth players that have came through the system, like Forrest, McGregor, Mikey Johnson, Kieran Tierney. Do you know what I mean? Players that have went, or even been a Celtic mainstay or went elsewhere. That's a good few players that have came through the past few years that have made a spot theirs. Whereas since Lennon's been in, I don't even think I've seen that youth players actually get a game apart from when they go to Dubai.
It's a fair point, to be fair. It's a fair point. You look at kind of Karim Dembele, where's he? He was to be a wonder kid or whatever, he's not getting that opportunity. I think maybe the 10 in a row's played a part, that it's kind of been such an important season that a gamble like that is been too much. Maybe it's something to do with that, but the point you're making is kind of fair. It's not as if you're getting a whole crop of young boys getting a game all the time, you know.
I just don't know, man. I feel so happy, honestly. I'm buzzing, man. I'm absolutely buzzing. And
well, do you know what, mate? You be buzzing, okay? Because it's been a long time before you've been able to. So you take the time and enjoy it, mate. Okay.
Can I say something about Rangers transfer policy, right? Now,
I was actually going to say that there.
We're linked.
How do you think he'll do this year?
Don't know, but we're linked in a way. Scott Wright. I don't know. I've not seen much of him, right? And then two boys for Bournemouth who are relatively unknown as well. But see that kind of excites me a wee bit. Do you know what I mean? No.
But I don't care what transfer Celtic or Rangers bring in. It could be a player for the fucking arse end of nowhere. The minute a Celtic or Rangers fan signs an unknown player, they look at the highlights reel on YouTube and they're suddenly the best player in the league.
No, but it excites me because we only go on for players where they've got hyper in them or this or that nonsense. Like, see me, you look at Glenn Kamara, 50k for Dundee, but it's a smart piece of business. Scott Wright could very well be the next Jordan Jones and the next Jake Hasty, and then we'll go fuck me. But I like the fact that we are looking for pre-contracts and we're being smart with our transfer business, especially in the times where coronavirus. I like the transfer policy and by the players that we've signed. I mean, this is another thing, by the way. See, before Conor Bolton signed for Rangers, right? He was out for a year with a heart operation, right? Steven Gerrard got his 150th game there for Rangers on Saturday. Conor Bolton's played 141. That is mental, isn't it?
Like, I don't know if you like. Have you ever heard that a player that signed for Celtic? He signed from Man U. I think it was his contract ran up or something, but it was O'Connor. Have you heard them, Jack?
Who, sorry, mate?
O'Connor.
O'Connor? No.
I think Rogers might have signed him, right? But he came from Man U and see what. No, there's Luca Connell that came from Bolton. And then
yeah.
And then O'Connor that came from Man U. So it's an Irish boy. He's actually capped for Ireland and came from Man U. And see when he came from Man U, like Man U Twitter blew up saying, "Oh, I can't believe we've let such a young talented player go and all that." Why is like players like that not coming through our youth or breaking into the team and becoming like another Frimpong or like stuff like that, or like Afolobi, I know another player who's doing quite well.
Who the fuck is that?
He plays for Dundee on loan now.
Fuck me. Good luck if that's your team for next season.
No, but another boy that like look at Frimpong. Like, he came in for like Man City and he's made that spot as well. Ah, mate, he's no, but
he is fucking shite.
Mate, he's no shite.
Mate, he can run with the ball and he's fast. He's absolutely no end product and he's built like a fucking 13-year-old.
Right, that's a bit of a biased opinion, right? But
mate, he can't cross the ball. He can't cross the ball. Frimpong shouldn't be starting week in, week out for Celtic.
Who would you start over Frimpong?
Aye, you should get a better right back in, and he should be in and out the team. I don't think he should be a right back.
Don't agree with you there, pal.
So you would start Frimpong week in, week out at right back.
Jeremy Frimpong for Celtic, right
back.
Aye,
that's the one.
Absolutely.
Aye.
Yeah.
But that's even what I mean. But like, see a young player that gets regular game time. Like, all players make fuck ups, right? But see when you're that young and you can learn through them. Like, see even the Conor Hazard came in, right? He made a few big fuck ups, right? But he was still making more saves than Barkas ever has.
Wouldn't it be fucking hard, man?
No, I know it wouldn't, but it's the fact that see if Conor Hazard would get more like rotated appearances throughout the team, he's going to get that experience and become a good keeper. Even if you send him out on loan to like a Kilmarnock or something like that, do you know what I mean? Do it with them with Aya. Get them experience at a team that lose some and win some, do you know what I mean? It gets them that, like, it gets them used to playing with other defences, and then he can becomes like Celtic's starting keeper.
He See, moving on for Celtic and Rangers, because that's what we've spoke about.
Yep.
Do you just think this is good for Scottish football, the cup final, the Betfred Cup final?
I think it is.
Like it being two teams that will never are in there.
I think to me it shows you that, like, no matter what, on a one-off game, Celtic and Rangers are beatable. Aberdeen are beatable. Hearts are beatable. Hibs are beatable. Do you know what I mean? Like, big teams in Scotland that should wipe the floor with these somewhat smaller teams. Or, do you know what I mean? Like, you've got a St Johnstone Livingston final.
St Johnstone absolutely battered Hibs. Like, battered them proper.
Livingston are in a great frame as well. They now. I think that's what.
What do you think that is? Why do you think that is?
I think that the guy in charge has got a big part to play. I think he's been in kind of the background in Livingston for a while, but obviously with him coming in, he's only been there 10, 11 games, isn't it? And it's been great for them anyway. They're unbeaten, so they're in a great space, right in the cup final as well, which is brilliant for them.
Mate, at the end of the season, Livy could finish in the top 6 and have a trophy. That is mental for Livingston.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Like, that guy, mate, that guy is done. I don't know how when a new manager comes in, it's like the team suddenly starts playing like Barcelona. But no, for 10, 11 games unbeaten getting to a cup final.
I know.
That is mental.
I know.
Especially with all due respect and all that, with a team like Livingston.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? They're not the greatest team in the league, but they're playing really well.
They're showing
took points off Rangers, took points off Celtic. Do you know what I mean? Like, Rangers haven't lost points a lot, but Livingston are one of the teams that took points off them.
Aye. One transfer that I still can't get my head around is Eamon Brophy going for Kilmarnock to St Mirren. Does that make sense?
That's a weird one. I thought he was a better player than that.
I thought he was going to do himself.
I know.
I guess this has got to go down as fucking one of the worst January transfer windows ever, isn't it?
Nobody's getting any money, man.
Nothing's happened. Like, nothing.
Nobody's got money, but I mean, no fans are in the stadium. Is there anything else you want to speak about?
Well, that's another one. Do you know why Celtic need to get a new manager in pronto? It's because that time of the year is going to come round again when it's season ticket renewal.
They'll need to shut the top barrier up again.
Good
but
one.
What, like, they need to get sort of like, see when Rodgers signed, like, straight away, like, every season ticket was sold out.
Aye.
To get that excitement, they wanted to go and see someone change the way of the club.
But that's what will happen. That's what will happen. They'll bring a new manager in right before that, and the same thing will happen.
That's the plan.
Absolutely.
No, but I think it's too late because,
from a business point of view,
from a Celtic and Rangers point of view, right? Everybody knows what the summer's like for Celtic and Rangers. Have always get fucking like a good 6 qualifiers. Do you know what I mean? Like, so see to bring a new manager in, right? And he's going to have like no time to assess the damage or whatever, and then be like, oh, by the way, see, in 2 weeks you're playing fucking some team for Gibraltar. Whereas now he gets to work out who's in his plans for next season, who he needs replaced. He can work out a formation, a style, and then when the important games at the start of the season come up, he's ready.
Absolutely, I agree with you, because you looked at it as no matter how you look at it, Lennon won't be there next season. So why wait till the end of the season?
Imagine he is
to
there.
Bring some. Oof.
The thing that baffles me the most is, do you know that Peter Lawwell is the highest paid chief executive in Britain?
What the fuck does that even mean?
Like, so see, like everyone in that role. So see at Arsenal's and Man U's and all that.
No, I know what you mean, but like, what the fuck's a chief executive? What the fuck do they even do?
No, like, right. So his title is like a chief exec, right? But he's also like head of like football operations. So he's the one that makes the signings.
He makes the signings?
Pretty much.
Holy fuck.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't understand how you can put someone that never played a game of football or knows tactics. I think a manager needs to make their own signings. I don't care what level of football or how football changes with money and stuff like that. It should always be a manager making their own signings.
See in football this season, all the big teams are back, winning the league, how it should be. AC Milan, Man United and Rangers. Absolutely tremendous. Big guns are back, and now all the wee
Glad
boys.
You said it, mate.
All the wee boys can go away.
Did any of you ever watch that Sunderland Till I Die?
Aye.
Do you mind when they two crackpots signed that fucking... Who is it? What was the striker's name again?
Oh, Shane Long. No, Shane Long.
No.
Well, Drid.
Aye. Mind you, they were like, I wouldn't, like, they asked, like, Jack Ross, and he was like, I wouldn't spend over, like, 1.52 mil, and they signed him for 4.
Aye.
But suddenly that gets reflected on Jack Ross. It's because, well, why you not? We've spent £4 million on a player for you, and that's what he's doing.
See, to be fair, see if somebody asked Jack Ross their opinion, I'd do exactly the opposite of what Jack Ross said. I know he is fucking hopeless.
Aye, but what we saying about that is, I've got a lot of things wrong this season, right? Like a lot of things. But the one thing I've got right is that Hibs can't win a big game. But
mate, they were set on to win that cup, set on, and they fucked it. No even close enough. They were fucking shite. Terrible.
We watched the Celtic Hibs game, didn't we? And it was like, how rotten were Hibs playing against a second string Celtic team?
They're shite.
Aye, really poor.
Like, they got lucky with that goal at the end, right? Obviously, Celtic got lucky scoring a free kick goal because Celtic we were rotten that game. But Hibs, for the team that were heavy favourites going into that game, they were shite.
That is what it is, man.
Aye.
That is what it is. Anything else you want to talk about?
No, I think the one thing, obviously going away from football and going into a bit more podcast things, I think obviously the more the weeks go on, because now we've got this on lock, that going to get a bit more consistent. If you want to see Jack come back on, we can sort something out. If you want to see some of the other people that we've had on, just drop us a message. But if you any questions or anything that you want to put into us and have us talk about or have a debate about, then send them in, because it just gets us into a debate, and that's what makes it enjoyable.
And you want to say, Jack, you want to promote it?
No, I'm back. I'm back, so get the views up.
Are you sure? Are you sure you don't want to promote it? I'm sure there's some things happening. JRB Soccer Academy, no?
It is, mate. It's live, but we'll get that. We'll get that once it's up and running. We'll get
you're going to take over the day, aren't you, man?
Oh, mate, I'm only getting started.
Right, I'm fucking bored of you too, man.
Yeah, away you go and take your perm with you. It's looking good, mate. It's looking good.
And so,
new lockdown number.
Leave a like if you like my perm. Take your hat off, and we'll see who's got the best trim. Oh,
a young DiCaprio, some have called me.
Fuck me, you look fucking barkass.
Nah, it's gone back on for the now, man.
Right, how the fuck do I end this?